Meet the Bounds. Deirdre and Brian Bounds have been married for 5 years. They live in a village outside Leeds with their 3-year-old son, Frankie. Meet the Clarks. Margaret and Phil have been married for 18 years. They live in Wolverhampton with their children, Mark, Chantel, Kimberly, Ryan, Tiffany, Holly, Chelsea and youngest Caitlin. The two wives have agreed to swap homes, partners and children for 2 weeks to see what they can learn about their own lives. What's it like being a mother to 8 children? And the wife of a traditional man.
Where the fuck is she? You put my house back to the way it was. You're using it. You're not disturbing it.
What's it like dealing with a tantruming toddler and a father who can't cope?
Why didn't you tell me how to do it? Martin, let me finish, please.
And what happens when the couples meet up to discuss the experience?
You've drained me, you've destroyed me, you've given me that many kids.
Phil, get off your cross.
The Clark family live in a 10-bedroom house near Wolverhampton. Margaret is a full-time mum who has been raising children for 22 years.
Right from a very young age, I wanted to have a large family. There's no way I would ever have considered having 1 or 2.
I think she's a good mum because she does like try and do her best for us because it's hard because there's so many of us.
You can never get a better mum.
Husband Phil stays away from family life.
It's like my prison sentence. You have got 18 years to do from your last child, so I've got 15 years left and I'll be free again.
I'd like my dad to be a bit more involved because he just sort of comes home, does a bit of work, eats some dinner, then goes to bed.
Deirdre Bounds is a self-made businesswoman. She employs her husband Brian in her multi-million-pound company, sending people on working holidays in third-world countries.
And usually they come back having learned a great deal about themselves and another culture. I constantly think about my business and I am constantly trying to make it better.
It starts at about 6 o'clock in the morning and it goes until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and it's work. Work, work, thinking all the time, work.
3-year-old Frankie has been in full-time nursery since he was 3 years old.
I think motherhood can be boring. You have to put a lot of effort into it. I think being a really good parent requires a lot of patience, and that is what I don't have. I don't have a lot of patience and I don't have a lot of time. You trying to go down and see your daddy? No. Mummy's got some work to do. OK, well, go downstairs and see where Daddy is.
Phil is a partner in a successful steel business. He's a wealthy man but chooses to live well below his means.
When I shop, I do like to try and get cheap bargains.
Last pack of eggs.
Last pack of eggs.
Pack of eggs.
No more in the shop?
No more economy eggs.
He's the one who makes the decisions on all the financial spending we do in our house.
We'll have our discussion in a minute about the size of the phone bill.
Women in general tend to want to spend money. They can't help it. It must be something that's in the genes or something, you know. You have to actually complain about the spending to keep it under control.
£28, 59p to say, hello, George.
In the Bounds family, Deirdre holds the purse strings.
Being financially independent has always been important to me. I like the fact that I don't have to count up the pennies at the end of the week.
At home, chores are shared, but Deirdre does make executive decisions.
When we have rows, they are about communication, about Deirdre wanting to get a fish without consulting her husband about whether he'd like to get a fish.
The reason why I got the fish was because Frankie doesn't have a brother or sister, and occasionally he seems lonely and he needs a friend. I actually thought that was quite sentimental of me, actually.
It's the day of the swap. The wives will spend the next 2 weeks away from their families.
Have a good time with your new wife.
Bye! I'm expecting there to be less children, obviously. I will have a shock if somebody's got more than I've got.
I get the feeling I might be going to some huge mansion. That'll be good. Does that telephone box have a telephone in so I can call my husband?
Before they meet their new families, the wives have a chance to look around.
Wow.
Jeez, look at the amount of toilet rolls. How many arses do they need to wipe here?
I just can't believe that somebody can have so little things in their cupboards. You can't even sit on that sofa because of the cushions. She's just not going to believe how casual we are.
You are joking. How many children are here? How many children live in this house?
Oh, wonderful. One bed. Oh, one bed. One child. Where are the others? Where are the others? I don't know why the child's bedroom is up in the top, away from the rest of the floor of bedrooms. I don't know what's going on.
Well, if that's my new husband, what a handsome man he is. Is that the same man? It's not the same man as that. God!
Each wife has left a manual of instructions on how the new wife should run their homes.
Kids. Frankie is at the nursery every day during the week from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. In the evening, Brian will do most of the childcare. Bathing him, giving him his bottle and getting him ready for bed. Wow.
I'm not allowed to go with Phil to the supermarket because I will buy what I think we need and it will cost too much. God, what a Scrooge.
I won't buy or eat low-cost food.
Phil eats the leftovers from the children's plates. Is that because he's so mean that he won't have his own dinner?
It's time for Margaret and Deirdre to meet their new families.
Hello.
Hello, dear.
Welcome. Welcome.
You must be Phil.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Phil.
Hello. And your name is?
Deirdre.
This is Frankie. And this is Margaret. Oh, he's a little bit shy to begin with.
Chantal.
Chantal, nice to meet you. Kimberly.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Holly.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Right, do you want to show me how to do this?
It's dinner time, but in a large family, cooking is more about catering than cordon bleu.
You know how to work a deep fat fry, don't you?
I'm afraid I don't. Sorry.
This is getting serious. You haven't got... You mean tell me you haven't got a chip pan at home?
No, I haven't got chip pan.
We'll have to have a talk.
Phil doesn't like to throw anything away.
There we go.
How often do you clean the oil in that, though?
How often do I clean the oil? When I think it looks dirty.
All right,
Okay.
Nor does he like cleaning.
What do you generally do with this? You just kind of leave it?
Personally, I'd take that now and put it back in the bottom of the Arga and let the next person worry about it.
But what if you had to use it? What if you were bringing this out tomorrow?
I'd find something else to cook. Okay.
After just a few hours, Phil reckons he's got Deirdre's number.
Deirdre is a little bit bossy today, and I think tomorrow she's going to be that much more bossy, and the day after I think she's going to be about that much more bossy, and then I'm going to have to bring her back down to about that. Hopefully.
In the Bounds house, it's Frankie's bedtime, and Margaret can relax because new husband Brian does the majority of childcare.
I think it's incredible he's here, taking so much part in his bedtime routine. I feel quite redundant, actually.
Margaret is amazed by how little involvement Deirdre has with her son.
It just makes me sort of feel that if Deirdre dropped off the planet, I think there just wouldn't be a trauma.
In Wolverhampton, Phil is off to the pub, leaving Deirdre to clean up.
I was just wondering before you go, because I'm just trying to brush the kitchen floor as the household manual, but it keeps on falling apart, this brush.
You'll have to ask tomorrow one of the children what we do with the broom, OK? They'll probably get you some new sticky tape or something to mend it with.
Right, OK. Thanks.
See you later.
There's two people here in this household that like to get their own way, that generally hold the purse strings. I think me and Phil could become two roaring tigers towards the end of the week because we both like what we like and we like to get what we like to get.
In Wolverhampton, businesswoman Deirdre Bounds has woken up to her first day as housewife and mother of 8.
OK. First cup. I think that... No, that's not yours.
According to the household manual, she must make breakfast for each child and plait the 4 youngest girls' hair.
First time for everything.
Oh, this is fun. Are they having a hair braid?
Well, they're having something. I'm not sure what you'd call it.
It's...
There you go.
Can I just have a ponytail, please?
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't think she was that good. I mean, Holly's and Chelsea's hair are like all loose now. It's not the same as Mom did it. That's why I wanted a ponytail.
All right, come on, my boy, let's go.
In Leeds, Brian takes Frankie to nursery before going to work,
Bye-bye, Frankie. See you tonight.
leaving Margaret time to worry about her new job as managing director.
I do feel insecure. I feel inadequate. Feels very strange. I can't remember the last time I ever wore tights.
Margaret has been a stay-at-home mum for 20 years. During the swap, she will be taking Deirdre's place as the head of an international travel company. She must take charge of a staff of 70, but has never worked in an office before.
Margaret Clark for you.
Hello, Margaret. Good morning.
How are you this
Good morning. All right, thank you.
Good. Did you manage to sleep last night?
No, not at all.
In 3 days' time, Margaret must give a presentation to recruit new customers for Deirdre's company.
Right, it's only a short presentation.
How many people will it be in front of?
The ice spice about 100 people.
Lovely. Can I go home now?
Margaret must learn how the company works and follow Deirdre's demanding work schedule.
Margaret's doing okay. The first time I saw her in the office, she did confide in me that feels like she's in over her head. She's out of her depth, I think is what she said.
Hi, Margaret, it's 11 o'clock. Presentation skills in the Amazon upstairs.
OK.
Can I tell me you'll be a couple of minutes?
Yes. How long will we be there?
An hour.
Even with the greatest of intentions from everybody to be helpful and supportive, at the moment it does seem extremely hard.
Deirdre's also finding her new life daunting.
Sometimes I feel it at work, where there's so much you feel overwhelmed. There's, all the hoovering, there's all the cleaning, there's stuff to be put away, and I'm only looking at one room.
According to the household manual, Deirdre must tackle a mountain of chores. 11-year-old Ryan's room is in a particular state.
I don't know how anybody can live in this. What does he still want all this crap for?
Deirdre also has to deal with a stream of interruptions from the children.
You want your dolly? Well, I'll get it in a minute. I've just got one more shirt to do. Today, so far, has been very demanding, both physically and mentally. And there's just always more to do. More, more, more. These frogs have got to go.
Phil is little help. He doesn't do much around the house and spends hardly any time with the children.
Phil probably cares for the children, but only in as much as they don't bother him. He just wants to go to work, come home, go upstairs, drink beer. No deviation from that, please.
Over the next few days, the wives settle into their new roles. Margaret's getting the hang of being the boss.
The computer, how much dependency is there going to be on that, on continuing to send volunteers? You really are somebody here, whereas at home I've always felt a bit forgotten.
Despite enjoying work, Margaret is finding the hours draining.
How long would you say that Deirdre spends in the office every week?
It doesn't, it's not just the office, that's the thing about it. And it's not just on Monday through Friday, that it's 7 days a week. We haven't had a holiday for the past 18 months.
Has Frankie been taken away by anybody else, or has he had no summer holiday?
He hasn't had a summer holiday yet. While there is a price to be paid, we spend as much time as we can with Frankie, and it is quality time.
Story and
Frankie regularly stays up late so Brian and Deirdre can spend time with him when they get home.
What's the plan for now?
For now,
Yeah,
we're just
for
gonna
now.
chill out. Now.
Chill out.
We'll go to bed probably in a few minutes.
But Frankie rarely goes to bed without a fight.
I'm just do it on.
Well, you have to take this shirt off for me to put this shirt on.
No. It's just a game.
Brian talks about wanting to spend quality time with Frankie. That is what he wants to do in the evening, to possibly compensate for the daytime when he's not there. The only trouble is that what he calls quality time in the evening, in my opinion, Frankie's too tired for it.
Come on, let's get ready for bed. Frankie, we've got to get ready for bed, all right?
In the Clark's house, all the children are asleep, but Phil and Deirdre can't just relax with a quiet nightcap.
You said to me, would you like a drink, Deirdre? Would you like a Coke?
Yes.
And I said, yes.
And then I jokingly, I really should not have said it. I will never ever say it again, but it's cheap.
Well, the fact is that you turned round to me just now and said, can I get you a drink?
Yes.
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 And I said, yes, please. And you said, Coke, cheap, 13 pence. Is that a fact?
It's an absolute fact.
Then we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I'll have a drink of your 13 pence cheap Coke, thank you very much.
Do you want a large glass? Would you like a full pint? Huh?
Well, that would be about 6 pence, Phil. I couldn't take that from you. I'll just have a small glass, please.
There you go.
Thank you, Phil.
I'm going to get me a beer, okay? Then I'm going to disappear outside onto the patio.
Oh, do you have to? I'm enjoying this.
Want a cigar with my beer?
You can tell that this is cheap Coke, Phil. You can. You can. You can. It's flat.
The next day, Deirdre takes a more serious look at Phil's shopping habits.
I don't think the family are eating healthily. I think that there's a lot of stodge being eaten because Phil chooses to go to cheap supermarkets and buy cheap food, and most of that is stodge. It's just indescribable, isn't it? I wonder whether it will change colour as it cooks.
The lack of fresh food is taking its toll.
I haven't had any fruit, no fresh vegetables. Everything's bland and dry and cheap.
Despite doing the food shopping, Deirdre's noticed Phil rarely eats at home and often buys himself takeaways.
Why don't you eat food here?
I do
you
eat food here.
Bits of sandwiches. You don't eat the food that Margaret cooks. By your own admission.
No,
you say you eat the leftovers.
I eat the leftovers, right? What the kids leave.
The food you buy is cheap, processed stuff that you feed your kids, and I wouldn't eat this crap.
That's absolutely
I'm
fine.
I may not be able to dish up perfect food, but I wouldn't eat that.
I do not have a problem with any of the food in this house. Everything I've just put in the freezer, I'll eat it.
You're a very difficult man, Phil. He shops in cheap supermarkets and he buys cheap food. He's proud of his bargains. But when he's spending money on his own beer and kebab, he doesn't think like that. He goes out with wads of cash. But that's for him.
It's the fourth day of the swap, and Margaret's been thinking about her experience at work.
You could give me the best paid job in the whole world, and I honestly believe that I would not take advantage of that job if the cost was the fact that I was leaving my child for 10 hours a day. I really, truly feel that.
It's reality. Most husbands and wives work.
Wouldn't one of you like to alter your lifestyle so that you had 2 full days, so that he only went to nursery 3 days? The nursery's getting all the best of Frankie. You two are picking up a tired child.
So the time I spend with him, he has my attention all the time.
But I thought it was very sad. First thing home was he was just lying there, really tired, with his bottle on that cushion.
Well, I guess you caught him on a bad day.
I do feel that everything I asked Brian about, he's got an answer for. No matter how good a provision you make for Frankie's childcare, it's not his mum and dad.
I think the nursery's okay for Frankie. I think it's fine. I think he has a lot of social skills. I don't think that stay-at-home moms are the be-all and the end-all.
But sometimes staying at home can be fun.
For the first time in 10 years, I have tried not to think about work. It has been nice not to have the burden of responsibility.
Since living in Wolverhampton, Deirdre's filled her days by playing with the children. It's a big change from her life at home.
I play with Frankie infrequently because if I'm brutally honest, I find it boring. Because I've never really worked with children or had many children, I don't really know what to do with them. And it's not that difficult. I think the more I do it, the better I'll get at it. The kids enjoy it, and I need to stop thinking of myself so much.
Does your little boy like these?
I'm sure he'd like those shoes if he was here.
If he was a girl, he would like to have these shoes.
I wouldn't know her.
In Leeds, it's nearing the end of the first week, but there's no rest from work. Tomorrow is Saturday, and Margaret must give a presentation in London in front of 100 people.
Most of you probably know that I am here today, as part of a personal challenge for me. Probably most of you know that I am here today. Most of you probably know that I am here today.
Deirdre's company holds open days to encourage people to sign up for working holidays in third world countries. Half of the company's business comes from events like these, so the pressure's on.
Let's have fun.
This afternoon, as you all know, I'm sure, I'm here to take part in my own personal challenge. It's taken a lot of courage, but I'm an ordinary mum, and if I can do this today, which I hope I'm doing okay, you out there can take the same sort of step that we're talking about that I'm doing. I would love to have the chance to do something like this, I really would, but it wouldn't be full-time. I would like, if it was possible, to maintain a balance between a lot of contact with my children and still having something that is me. I need Phil's support for me to do anything like that. I haven't got that.
In Wolverhampton, the only thing on Phil's mind is that tomorrow is rule change day. He's hiding some beer in case Deirdre stops him from drinking.
There's only me knows about this, not even Margaret. She won't find that.
I'm looking forward, actually, to taking it easy in the next few days. I'm going to get delegating, because I've had enough of this. I think it will blow poor Phil Clark's little mind when he sees what's coming.
I've never, ever in my life been under the thumb. It ain't gonna happen tomorrow.
It's rule change day. Both wives waste no time getting ready. Deirdre starts by getting rid of the unhealthy food from the freezers.
God, what's that? Oh, no. Best before the end. July 96. That is disgusting.
Margaret has a surprise for Brian.
Oh.
She's decided to move Frankie's bedroom from the attic into Brian and Deirdre's study.
Because I did feel that room was a little bit too small.
Right, okay, but I know, however, Deirdre and I talked about this being an office, and it was an office.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Well, you can have the office upstairs. We've measured the desk, and the desk will fit. And I thought that it's the peace and quiet and the isolation upstairs that is ideal for a study, not a child.
Deirdre begins by organising the house and children.
The family I believe is unhealthy. So I'm taking over the household shopping. Everyone will be given responsibility to do more chores around the house. I am going to declutter the rest of the house.
Frankie should be in bed by 7:30. He needs his sleep and has been unsettled and overtired every evening this week. Frankie needs to be with a parent at all times, so I'm taking him out of nursery.
It quickly becomes clear that most of Deirdre's rules are aimed at Phil.
Every morning, Phil will bring me breakfast in bed. Phil, you spend too much time alone in your room watching the television. I'm going to take the TV out of your room. I'm going to ration your drinks to 2 beers a night. And the children asked me to sleep in the tent with them this evening, but I think they'd probably like it more if you slept with them in the tent this evening.
It's took me all my life just to get it to where I want it, and you've totally destroyed it. What do you hope to achieve by saying you can have 2 beers a night? Do you want to send me into depression? That's like, it's a non-starter. It's like depriving a dog of water.
Phil, they're the rules.
No, she's had a good go at me. But I expected it. Didn't expect anything different.
In the Bounds house, not only has Margaret moved Frankie's room, she's making Brian paint it.
What do you think about this room? Or what do you think Deirdre's going to think about it?
Deirdre's going to go ape shit over this thing.
Are you afraid of her?
Am I afraid of going ape shit? No, I don't think I am. Yes, I am.
I like salad.
I'll tell you what, because I've already mixed that up now, why don't we cut up another tomato and then people can just eat tomatoes if they like it.
To stop the children from eating stodge, Deirdre has used Phil's money to buy some healthy food.
She's making a stitch salad. I ate a leaf and it was just disgusting.
It's got loads more bags in the fridge.
I know. It's got loads and loads of bags of leaves in the fridge.
OK.
No one is impressed by the rule changes, least of all Phil, who is about to spend the night in a tent.
Phil's not a very happy guy today. I think she knows that she can't get the better of me as an individual. So she's going to have a go at getting at me through rule change. Come on, I've got to come in.
OK.
It's bedtime.
I can't tell you how nice it is to be going to bed early. I just feel at peace with myself. And all is well with the world tonight.
It's 7 o'clock the next morning, and after spending a night of quality time with his children, Phil is in a black mood.
I've just spent last night in a tent. I haven't slept at all. And I've now got to go and do a 10-hour shift at work. Now, I have put her through nothing at all like what I had to go through last night. And tonight, I am going to do my best to destroy her. And if she packs her bags and goes, well and good.
Deirdre is oblivious to Phil's anger.
There goes my breakfast in bed. It's a shame. I thought Phil had more about him than that. That's really disappointing.
In the Bounds house, things are looking up. Margaret is working her magic on the new room, and Frankie's having a summer holiday.
It's great. I mean, it's creative. It's not too structured and organized. I like it. It's not anything like I would do that bedroom. Maybe Deirdre and I would have made it into something that was kind of tasteful. But that's his room. That's what we needed to do. Because now it's a boys' room.
In the Clark's house, Deirdre's delegated household chores. She's introduced a rota and is turning the children into efficient employees.
My mum will be happy with this, actually, for me, because I never really vacuum.
With the kids licked into shape, Deirdre's called in cleaners to get rid of the clutter in the house.
There's a lot to do.
kitchen and dining room are cleared. And Phil's precious television is removed from his bedroom.
Where's everything gone?
One of my rules was to declutter the house.
Well, that isn't clutter, that's just like stuff. Everything's gone and it's... I'm not happy. My mum will kill her.
Phil is back from work and still in a bad mood from his night in the tent.
Hello, Father.
Hello, Father.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a good day today.
No.
Where is she? Where is she? Where the fuck is she? Put my house back together, right? Or pack your bags and piss off. I mean it. You put my house back to the way it was. You're using it. You're not disturbing it. And you put my TV back. You put it back.
Deirdre, put this house back to the way it was by tomorrow night or leave. That's all I'm saying, no more than that. Photographs of my parents have been removed. I've got a photograph of my dad and a photograph of my mum, and they've been removed. And that is intrusive, and I'm not having it. This whole place, back to normal tomorrow night, or get your case, go. Right? She's taken down what's took years to put up. If I'd been burgled, it wouldn't be as bad as this. It's Margaret's home. She's wrecked it.
It's only a TV. OK, your parents' pictures, I am sorry, and I didn't mean that. You know, at the end of the day, he knew rule change was coming. I explained yesterday. He's just a very angry man.
It was kind of like strange because I didn't think he would react that bad. I thought he would be quite annoyed, but I really didn't think he would react that bad because he was shouting and swearing and running about and...
One more outburst like that, I'm gone anyway, and I feel very apprehensive about staying in this house.
In Leeds, it's the first evening for Frankie's new bedtime routine. Instead of going to bed when he's tired, lights must be out at 7:30.
You're gonna get too hot if you wear your clothes, all right? Because it is too hot. Frankie, come here. Come here. Frankie, come here.
Faced with tears, Brian would normally let Frankie stay up.
Enough of that. That's enough of it. It's enough of it, all right?
Frankie, come on. Brian, just go. Don't upset yourself. No. Frankie. Listen, Frankie. You can have Daddy when you stop crying when you're in bed. Brian, I will put him to bed. No, Frankie, now listen to me. You are going to be good and Daddy's going to come in and he's going to give you a bedtime story. I've got him in the bed. Just do him a couple of stories and just say that you're tired. Explain to him. Brian, make him understand it. That you are tired and that you need to go to bed. Put it over that it's you that needs to go to bed.
Work. Margaret, that doesn't work.
Try it.
All right.
Try it.
It doesn't work. All right, leave me alone. There you go. Shh. All right. Shh.
Brian is finding it hard to be as firm with Frankie as Margaret's rule changes say he must be.
Can you sit down? I do not want to sit at the kitchen table. All right, can you sit right here? Margaret, why didn't you tell me how to do it? You didn't tell me how to do it. You know that it's difficult with me, all right? Then say, Brian, stop right here. I know you're a softie with Frankie, so this is what you got to do.
Well,
Boom, boom, boom. And you're going to feel, Margaret, let me finish, please. And you're going to feel boom, boom, boom. You've got to ignore that. You've got to be firm, all right?
I'm sorry, Brian. I thought you'd know that. Because you must have that in business. There must be times when you've really got to be the leader. You've got to be the stronghold.
Just don't think it's such a big deal to get him into bed that early.
He was tired. The only other alternative is to just faddle about. And yeah, I know you've upset Frankie and I hate doing this as well, and, you know, we won't go to bed and it'll just go on. Once he gets settled in that routine, it's going to be so easy. You'll just think, this is great.
Yes, I agree. It is the right way. It is very difficult with me. I'm too soft.
But I think you need to be more positive about the whole thing about going upstairs to bed.
Okay. I'm so deficient in being disciplined with Frankie. You know, he wraps me around his little finger when he just looks up into my eyes. So we'll try it again tomorrow.
In Wolverhampton, Phil's up early and has had time to reflect on the rule changes.
I bought you a cup of coffee, Deirdre. And I want to say I'm sorry. I just seen things I didn't like. And I reacted badly to it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thanks.
Okay. Accept my apology.
Of course I do. Thanks ever so much. I'm going to have a really nice day now. I really appreciate that.
Well, you can feel better now. Now I've spoken to her, and I also feel better that she's accepted it.
One of Deirdre's rule changes was that Phil should spend more time with his children, so he's taking them for a day out.
Freedom!
The children regularly go ice skating with Margaret, but Phil rarely goes on family outings.
I've never ice skated until today. And after today, I'm never going to ice skate again. OK?
It would be cool if the rules stayed where my dad has to take us out because it's fun and then we go out more as a family.
I don't think it will stay because I don't think Dad really likes taking us out. I don't know why, but I don't think it will happen again.
It's nearly the end of the second week, and Brian has got one last chance to get the new bedtime routine working before Margaret leaves.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'll drain.
Yeah?
Yep.
Now keep going.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Means
okay.
to an end.
Right.
Don't take it personally tonight. It's a means to an end.
Okay. Well, actually, we've got the sofa right upstairs, so we're going to read it upstairs.
If we can have a night where it's easy for him to settle, at least he's got the positive reinforcement that he can think, it's another day, you know, I've managed one day, so I can manage two. I just hope it goes all right.
Because we have to go to bed and we have to get a good night's sleep so we can go to the seaside, okay? Lie in bed and you can look up at your stars.
Frankie settles down and is tucked up in bed right on schedule.
And I think maybe I've been a little bit too much of his friend and not enough of his father. And I think that if Deirdre dedicated the time to spend with Frankie, she would get closer to him. Then we would start working together more as a family rather than two adults and a child.
Deirdre's become very aware of Phil's lack of involvement with his children.
Do you read them, right?
No. I would not be happier if I actually read books to the children.
The children might be.
Doesn't matter about the children. They get a story read to them.
By Margaret.
Yeah. Well, I don't care who reads it.
How do you know?
Because they have no comparison to compare it to. If they can't say, Daddy read us a story, wasn't it better when Daddy read it? Because Daddy never reads them a bloody story. They haven't a choice, it's not there.
Do you feel you could spend more time with them?
Well, we can always spend more time if we want to.
Do you want to?
No. Now I feel as I spend enough time...
You see, Phil, I'm similar to you. It's Brian who normally takes Frankie out to the steam railway and whatever else. And I've just seen here how important it is to spend quality time with children, which I never did in Leeds, because there was always an excuse. I've been thinking while I've been here, I must and I will spend more time each day with Frankie. What I've found here is a strange mirror image of our own house in Leeds. and our own relationship. It's just made me see what it could be like to walk in Brian's shoes. If I hadn't have had this experience being at the receiving end of Phil Clark, I could be talking to myself 15 years down the line. And I don't want to be there.
It's the last day of the swap, and Margaret's organised a children's party to say goodbye.
I think Brian's absolutely brilliant as a dad. He's not afraid to get involved. When I'm watching Brian out there romping around the garden with all the kids, I'm thinking, yeah, it'd be nice if Phil was more like that.
In the Clark's house, the children are performing a puppet show of the last 2 weeks.
Where's my TV? What the beep have you done to my house? Pull my house!
I think I've learned to take things a bit more light-heartedly since I've been here. It's not all so bloody serious, and that's good. I'll miss the action around the house. I'll miss the tenderness of the kids because they're lovely. They really are.
Oh, big hug, Frankie.
I think the whole of the week has been crazy and just cool.
Take care of your face.
He's crazy.
The wives are reunited with their husbands.
Hey, Ben, come here.
The couples meet up to discuss what's changed over the last 2 weeks.
The study is now where Frankie's room used to be. And Frankie's room is where the study was. Margaret decorated the room. We have stars in there, planets and spacecraft, and it's a very creative room.
It's only his room. I haven't trashed your house up, Deirdre. And the house was beautiful as I walked round. Everything was just so perfect. But that was the main point. There didn't seem to be much evidence of children at all.
I think you're being a bit harsh, Margaret. I think we need to actually get the facts right here. And he did have a playroom, and it was in the piano room.
But as I went round the house, it was...
And I'm surprised at you, Brian, to allow all this, to allow her to say this. It's very hurtful to me.
I'm not criticising Deirdre, I'm saying
get the facts right.
The reason why the music room didn't occur to me is because he spends so little time in it. Whereas his bedroom, he loves his bedroom now.
As well, we thought it was right for Frankie to be in that top room. We thought it's a right little boy's room and he would enjoy it. So we made a mistake.
Well, we actually thought that we wanted a bigger office so that we could have 2 desks and 2 computers in there. I'm just saying that we could have been a little bit more generous towards our son to giving him a large room.
Okay,
that's what I'm
fine.
saying. Okay, let me... Margaret, I have a question. What did it feel like being around adults at eye to eye?
I didn't have a chance to think about my family once when I was at work. And on that presentation in London, when they asked me how it was, I had to try very hard not to cry full blast because I had done something so good. And I'm not being big-headed. I had done something that was so good that everybody was telling me that was absolutely incredible, that was wonderful. And you don't get that at home.
Phil, I've lived with Margaret for the past several days. She's helped to raise the kids, and she wants something else to help her to be more fulfilled.
I really want more help around the house from you and the children.
I knew this would happen. I knew it. I knew as soon as I walked in there, you'd get on to me. I knew Deirdre was going to get on to me. And I was pretty sure he was going to brainwash Brian, and now he's getting on to me. And I'm glad I've turned up, because I'm the only person sitting here who actually likes me.
Phil, get off your cross.
I'm not capable of giving any more. I give it my full whack every day. Nothing left.
It's not true.
You've drained me. You've destroyed me. You've given me that many kids.
That is not true, Phil.
I'm never, ever going to get rid of kids. Look, I'll tell you what to do. So I want to do this, and I'll say, OK, do it. I'll give them all a roasting. I'll make them do things in the house.
Sorry, Phil,
that's what you
I
want.
don't agree. I think you've got that arse-about face.
So we want me to give him a roasting first?
Yes.
OK.
I think we need to get those kids whipped into shape to allow Margaret the headspace so that she can then pursue what she wants to pursue.
That's OK.
Not the other way around.
I'll do it, OK? I'll sort it. I'll sort all the kids out, if that's what you want.
The wives return home to their families.
Hello, hello.
Just a great treat this evening.
Oh, no.
Come on, you can come in.
Where's all my frogs? A collection of frogs.
Oh,
Good boy.
darling. Big kiss, baby.
After having Deirdre for a long time, it's nice to have you back. And I do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Frankie Bounce! What is this?
It's my bedroom.
It's your bedroom. It is very nice. Well done, Margaret. It's wonderful to be back, and it's wonderful to see my son, who's obviously very happy, and to know that I can make him even happier if I try.
There have been quite a few changes in the weeks since the swap.
Since I've come back from Leeds, Phil and I have actually been shopping to Sainsbury's twice. And both times we've done a very big shop. We have introduced a chores board, and I am actually actively looking for a job. Whatever happens, I am going to be getting out of the house a lot more.
But one thing is the same.
He expected everything to return back to normal. To be honest, he expected the TV back.
But Margaret stood her ground, and the television is still out of the bedroom.
Have I learnt anything? Yes. Keep your TV screwed down. And that's about all.
In Leeds, there have been some big changes.
Since Deirdre's come home, Frankie has been going to bed at the same schedule that Margaret put in. It was really a wise move. He's happier.
Frankie's getting a lot more attention, especially from his mum.
I spend more quality time with him, and I take an interest. I see him more as a little human being. I collect him early from school on a Thursday, and we're going on a business trip to the States tomorrow, and we're taking Frankie with us. Can you see those red bits? It's unfair on the boy to be left all the time, so we're taking him with us.